Hello everyone, my name is Ankita Nandi. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to discuss one of the most important age of British literature, that is the age of Chaucer. In the previous video, I told you that we can divide Middle English period in three parts. The first part is the Anglo-Norman period, which we have discussed in the previous video. The second part is the age of Chaucer, and the third part is the age of revival. In this video, I'm going to discuss the age of Chaucer. At first, we will look at the historical background of this age. Then we will look at the literary features of this age. Then we will see the life and works of Geoffrey Chaucer. And at last, we will conclude it discussing other poets of this age. Now let us see the historical background of this age. There were three major incidents that happened that time. The first one is Hundred Years' War. It was a series of wars fought between France and England. The duration of the war was from 1337 to 1453. The duration of the war was 116 years. For that, it is called Hundred Years' War. Our great poet Geoffrey Chaucer also participated in this war. The second incident is the Peasants' Revolt that occurred in 1381. Due to the war, there was financial pressure on the government. So the government imposed heavy taxation even on the poor peasants. So they became violent and revolted. And this revolt was led by Wat Tyler. And the third incident is Black Death. It was a plague caused by black rats. Occurred first in 1348 to 1349. It again reappeared in 1362, 1367 and 1370. It wiped out one third of the England's population. It was that massive. Just like now we have coronavirus because of which the entire world is now at stake, at some point we had Black Death. Now we will see the literary features of this age. From this age, English became standardized. In Anglo-Saxon period and Anglo-Norman period, language went through various changes. In Anglo-Norman period, there were four dialects. Among them, East Midland dialect became the standard language. Chaucer also used this dialect. And the second feature is the age of anonymity was passing away from this age. Now in Anglo-Saxon and Anglo-Norman period, there were so many works which didn't have the name of the authors, such as Beowulf. But in the age, writers like Chaucer, Langland, Goa wrote their names on the work. So the age of anonymity was passing away. Now we will see the most important poet of this age, Geoffrey Chaucer. This man had such a big impact in the field of English literature that the age from 1340 to 1400 is known as the age of Chaucer. He was called the father of English literature. Dryden called him the father of English poetry. Dryden also called about him that here is God's plenty. He is also called the father of English language, morning star of Renaissance, and the first national poet. Arnold told about him that with Chaucer is born our real poetry. Arnold also told that Chaucer is the earliest of the great moderns. So now these points are very important for any exams. This question had been asked so many times in so many exams. So please note down these points and read this again and again. Now let us see the life of Chaucer. Chaucer was born in 1340 AD during the reign of Edward III. The grandson of Edward III, Richard II, succeeded him in 1377. In 1399, there was a revolution during which Lancastrian dynasty was founded and Henry IV became the new king. Chaucer died in 1400 AD, one year after the succession of Henry IV. So Chaucer lived under the rule of three monarchs, Edward III, Richard II and Henry IV. Please keep this point in mind. Chaucer's patron was John of Gaunt. Chaucer was the first poet to be buried in Poets' Corner in Westminster Abbey. In his life, Chaucer got many royal favors. He went for diplomatic missions to France and Italy. There he came in contact with Dante, Petrarch, and Boccaccio. We can see their influence in his works. Now we will discuss the works of Geoffrey Chaucer. We can divide Chaucer's works in three periods: French period, Italian period, and English period. Let us first see the French period. Poems of this period were modeled on the original French works. The first one was the Romaunt of the Rose. It was based on Les Romans de la Rose. It is written in octosyllabic couplet. The second book was the Book of Duchess. It was written when his patron John of Gaun's wife died. Now, Italian period. In the works of the Italian period, we can see the influence of Boccaccio, Petrarch, and Dante. The first work is The House of Fame. It is a dream allegory. It is written in octosyllabic couplet. It is a satirical work and it is influenced by Dante's Divine Comedy. The second work is Troilus and Cressida. It is an epic poem. Rhyme royal is used here for the first time. This work is influenced by Boccaccio. The setting of the poem is Trojan Wars. The third work is Parliament of Fowls. It is an allegory. It is also written in rhyme royal. So in this poem, we see that many bards assemble in parliament on Valentine's Day and discuss about so many topics. So remember that in this work, we get the mention of Valentine's Day. The fourth work is Legend of Good Women. This poem is the first known attempt in English to use iambic pentameter and heroic couplet. This is a story about 10 legendary women. Now let us see the English period. In this period, we get the most important work of Chaucer, that is Canterbury Tales. In this work, 29 pilgrims, including the narrator, which is Chaucer, meets at the Tabard Inn, which is in London, for going on a pilgrimage to the tomb of St. Thomas Becket in Canterbury. Chaucer has described all the pilgrims beautifully in the prologue. The host of the Tabard Inn suggests that each pilgrim should tell two stories on the outward journey and two stories on the return journey to make the journey interesting. So the Canterbury Tales would have been a collection of 120 tales, but Chaucer could only finish 24 tales before his death. There were only two prose tales, that were the Parson's Tale, and the second one was the Tale of Meliboeus told by Chaucer. The first tale of the Canterbury Tales is the Knight's Tale, and the last tale is the Parson's Tale. Now we have come to the last portion of the video, that is other poets of this age. One of the major poets of this age is William Langland. He, unlike Chaucer, wrote about the common people. His most important work is Piers the Plowman. In this work, he exposed the vices of the church and talked about the struggles and virtues of common folk. Another important poet is John Gower. He wrote Speculum Meditantis in French, Vox Clamantis in Latin, and Confessio Amantis in English. So that is all about the age of Chaucer. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please like, comment and share with your friends. And please subscribe my channel to stay updated. Thank you.